Good morning to everyone. The second lecture and the topic design of machine elements is concerned with factors influencing machine design. Factors influencing machine design. First topic is factors influencing machine design. The factors related to customer requirements and manufacturing. The strength and stiffness. A mechanical property. Strength is a the strength, the definition for strength is equal to maximum stress induced in a material. Maximum stress equal to strength. Stiffness is, that is, it has a unit of Newton per meter. So it is W by del, weight by deflection. How much it withstands the deflection is called stiffness. And the surface finish and tolerances. How much surface finish is required for the product, and tolerances. Tolerances are the upper control limit and lower control limit for the products. And the manufacturability is also the factor influencing machine design. And ease of handling. It is easy to be transportable and working atmosphere. It should work at any atmosphere, and cooling and lubrication is also a factor. Safety, noise requirement, cost and inspection methods are all the factors affecting customer requirements. Factors affecting machine design. Then the next topic, selection of materials based on mechanical properties. So the material should be selected based on strength. Okay. So the mild steel, we compare mild steel and annealed steel. Annealed steel has better strength compared to the mild steel. Okay. So the strength plays an important role. Then elasticity. So elasticity is a mechanical property. So depending upon the application, which property which property is more significant, that material should be based on that property. Elasticity is a property. The material uh, should elongate within the elastic limit. Plasticity, so it will go beyond the material will when it is subjected to loads, external loads, it will go beyond the elastic limit. That is called plasticity. Stiffness or rigidity, that is, it should be rigid. So this property can be measured by using the impact test. The rigidity can be measured using the impact test. Then ductility, the material should elongate when it is subjected to external loads. It should elongate. That property is called as ductility. Brittleness, material will not elongate, so it will break. Cast iron material will possess the brittleness property. Malleability, that the material can be made in the form of sheets. That property is called malleability. And resilience, so it is a property related to strain energy. So when load is applied on the object, that it is stored in the form of strain energy. For example, springs. In the springs or in spring balances, if you stretch the spring, that is, work is or load is stored in the form of strain energy. After releasing the spring, it will vibrate. So the process of storing energy is called as resilience. Toughness. So a material should have the property of toughness. Then hardness. So hardness of the material can be measured using the Brindle hardness testing, Rockwell hardness testing, and Vickers hardness testing, Knoop hardness testing. So hardness, it is a ability of the material to withstand forces. It will not deform. This material surface will not get deformed. The material is very hard. And creep. Creep is a process that is, the material will not when it is subjected to repeating stresses. When the material is subjected to repeating stresses and high temperature applications, the material will fail well below the yield limit. That process is called as creep. Like in boilers, if you use some materials, the material will fail below the yield limit stress. The high temperature applications, material will fail well below the yield limit. That property is called as creep. Strain hardening. So this property, this mechanical property, occurs in case of cold working. So during cold working, the strain hardening will occur. Then damping capacity. This is related to the vibration. The material should have the ability to absorb the vibrations. It should not vibrate. Whenever a load is applied, it should not vibrate. It should act as a damper. It should store the energy and it should not vibrate. Then hardenability. The hardness and hardenability are different. Hardenability of the material is hardness is the hardness of the material, whereas hardenability is the ability of the material to make a small indentation on the surface. That is called hardenability. So the Jomny end quench test is available to find the hardenability of the material. Machinability. Machinability is nothing but the material should be able to finish. The material should be able to finish. Some of the materials, the cast iron materials possess the property of brittleness and it can be easily machined. It has high hardness. It has good strength. The steel material, it is a widely used material for mechanical engineering applications. So this material possesses strength, elasticity. It is ductile and it is malleable. It has good resilience. It is hard. It is hard and it is tough, and it has a damping capacity. It has a hardenability. It possesses a property of machinability. So the steel is used for many of the applications. There are three types of steel: low carbon steel, medium carbon steel, and high carbon steel. If the carbon percentage in the steel is less than 0.15 percentage, it is called as low carbon steel. If the carbon percentage is between 0.15 to 0.6, it is called as medium carbon steel. And if the carbon percentage is between 0.6 to 0.8, it is called as high carbon steel. If the carbon percentage is 0.8 to 2 percentage, it is called as cast iron. It is called as cast iron. Then cast steel. So the steel can be made in the form of cast iron. Then alloy steel. Nowadays, many materials are like metals like manganese, uh, vanadium, and chromium, and different metals are added to the steel, and the steel becomes an alloy steel. Okay. So the alloy steel has found many applications like stainless steel. Stainless steel is an alloy steel. It contains more amount of chromium. So chromium imparts corrosion resisting property as well as it provides strength to the steel. It is you can make an alloy steel of high strength. Then vanadium has also found applications and it has a property of endurance strength. It increases the endurance strength. Tungsten has a property of hardness. It is used in filaments, light filaments. It can be used as light filaments. The tungsten, so it has a property of hardness. It has the ability to withstand heat and remain hard, and it will not fuse. That property is called as that. The tungsten has such a property. So depending upon the application, material can be chosen. Next topic in the unit 1 is preferred numbers. So preferred numbers are numbers. So the main purpose of this preferred numbers is it can be used as standards. It can be used as a standard. Okay. In your data book, PSC data book, page number 7.20, the preferred numbers are available. That is R5 table, R10 table, R20 table, R40 tables are available in your data book. So in this, and the preferred numbers, so they are square root of, that is root of 10 to the power 5, that is called R5. So as base as 10, if the root is taken as 10, it is R10 series, this is R20 series, this is R40 series, and all the numbers are arranged in geometrical progression. Okay, geometrical progression, not in arithmetic progression. So for example, in R20 series, the first number is taken 10 to the power 20, and the second number is also multiplied by the same number, and you can get the second number. So they are arranged in geometric series, so they can be used as standard numbers. You can compare the standard numbers in using this preferred numbers. So you can refer this preferred numbers in your data book page number 7.20. They are called preferred numbers. R10, this series are called as R10, R5, R10, R20 and R40 series. So they are arranged in derived from geometric series. They are arranged in geometric progression, including the integral powers of 10 having as common ratio of the following factors. These ratios are approximately equal to 1.58. First one 1.58, 1.26, 1.12 and 1.06. This value is equal to respectively. Okay. These series are called as basic series. The other series called derived series may be obtained by simply multiplying or dividing the basic series by 10, 100, etc. Then the next topic is fits and tolerances. There are three types of fits: loose fit, clearance fit and transition fit. Okay. Before studying about the fits, we'll discuss about the tolerances and important terms used in the limits and fit system. Nominal size or basic size. Suppose if you want to make a shaft of diameter 40 mm, that is called the basic size or nominal size. Both are same. Okay, if you want to make a shaft of 40 mm diameter, that is called the basic size of the shaft or nominal size of the shaft. The size of the part to which all limits or variations are applied are the final dimensioning of mating parts. This is called the basic size. The actual size, it is a size measured by the measuring instrument. It is the actual size or observed size of the part. Okay, if 40 mm is the the basic size, if the measured part is 40.5 mm, that 40.5 mm is the actual size of the part and 40 mm is the basic size or nominal size of the part. And the limits, there are two types of limits. One is the upper limit, another one lower limit. Okay, it is not possible to make shaft with the exact dimensions 40 mm 40.00 at all times. Sometime it is 40.01, it is 40.02, or sometime 40.005 or 39.995. So the actual size of the parts will vary from one workpiece to another workpiece. So some allowable limits are permitted. That is called upper limit and the lower limit. In the upper limit, 40.05 is the upper limit and 39.95 is the lower limit. 40 is the basic size or the nominal size. And allowance. Okay, so this is mainly used for this allowance is used for the that is mating components. That is, suppose if you are making 100 shaft and 100 holes. Okay, 100 shafts and 100 holes. For example, in a piston cylinder arrangement, shaft is made separately, a cylinder is made separately and shaft is also made separately. So 100 shafts and 100 holes. Okay, that is in the allowance. So the upper allowance is difference between basic dimensioning of the mating parts. Positive allowance or negative allowance. The shaft size is less than, we'll discuss this in the later. It is called allowance is positive, shaft size is greater than the size hole size, the allowance is negative. Then tolerance. There are three types of tolerance: unilateral tolerance, bilateral tolerance. If the tolerance is provided on the one side, it is called unilateral tolerance. If the tolerance is on both sides, that is for 20 plus 20.002 and 20 minus 0.008, it is bilateral tolerance. Here the tolerance is 20 and in the one side, so it is called as